You ready to do this?
Do it.
Hey! Hey out there! All you beautiful!
So startled.
That scare you, fool?
Scare me. Scare me, sucker.
All you beautiful savages of the interwebs! We love you.
We love you.
Happy Thursday. It is Thursday,
It is.
which no man has ever celebrated.
It's not a hump day. It's not Friday.
I think we made it a day, Thirsty Thursdays.
Well, that's
at one
true.
Point. It's been a
We're
bit.
bringing it back. A little bit of Libations Library.
Libations Library coming up for your ear holes. It's almost the weekend. I mean,
That's
we're
true.
right there.
Yep.
Just one more day of ye old grindstone to go.
Yeah. Dude, you know what this is?
What?
Episode number 8.
8?
Yeah.
Wow.
Episode 8. You know that we're actually,
That means something, doesn't it?
yeah, we are in the minority for podcasters.
We're two white guys. We're definitely not in the minority.
Well, I mean,
Of
that's-
podcasters.
of total podcasters.
Oh, I see.
They
Explain
say,
explain what you mean.
Well, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I had heard at one point that
How long you been statisticizing then? Did you hear
woo,
my
did you?
pronunciation of that word?
You clearly have not been etymologizing like I have for the last
Word
48
nerds!
years. Word nerds unite!
Satisfying? Statisticinating?
Statistifying.
Statistifying.
Yeah, I believe that's the term that we prefer. I've been statistifying for only about 4 years, so I'm new to the game.
You could also get you a song in Greece with that.
Statistifying.
I was gonna go with electrifying.
I'm a statistifying.
Could be Grease lightning.
Grease lightning.
Oh,
No, but episode 8, I believe that they say if you, or I guess the vast majority
okay.
of podcasts never even make it to episode 7, or
Wow.
they hit 7 and
quit.
and just fizzle out.
So what you're saying? We've done more than most.
More than most. So you know what that means.
That means I'm out.
Yeah,
We're done. All right.
Pack her up.
See you guys.
See ya. Never again. Bye. Hit the music.
That would be bad.
Hit the music.
Hit the music.
Yep.
Oh
We're
yeah,
out.
because we're leaving.
Yep.
Okay. See you.
Dim's jokes.
They are jokes, not great ones.
We still got to pay off this equipment.
That's true. That's true. We're in the hole.
Yup.
Speaking of being in the hole, we are also in the doghouse
Yes, we are.
yet again.
Again.
Why can we not get out of the doghouse?
Well, you can see I got a bed over in the corner.
You just sleep out here in the
I tend to stay
doghouse?
out here most times.
Oh, I forgot.
So Randy Jackson.
Oh, poor old Rocky Jackson out there.
Rocky Jackson.
Testifying. His signature album, Testify. And by the way, there are comments already on his page.
Yep.
That say we're here from fraternize
From
with these
fraternize.
guys.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
I love it. So just a little recap. Rocky Johnson has this great little blues album called In the Doghouse. Now it's the only song we could find
Yeah.
that had the words In the Doghouse. So
Yeah.
we're using it.
Yep.
We are we're stroking it, as they say.
We be stroking.
We be stroking. Shout out to what? Episode number 5? 6?
5.
I
Oh
forget.
goodness, they're all running together now.
It's been so many weeks.
We had a hefty mead last week.
We did have a hefty mead last week.
It was a tasty
Oh
one.
man. What I was trying to say is one more day until the weekend.
Yes,
The weekend's always great. I have work tomorrow. Do you got work tomorrow?
I do.
That's a drag.
Yeah, it is.
Are you traveling tomorrow?
Probably.
Okay. All right. So
I roll.
Old Beezy travels, gets what do you call it? The windshield time?
Getting that windshield time.
Windshield time in. Get paid for those wheels rolling down the road.
Yeah, listening to podcasts.
Nice. Not ours.
No, definitely
Definitely
not.
not ours.
I was here recording it. I don't need to listen to it.
That's right. I'm looking forward to the weekend because I get to do something that I rarely get to do. It's play video games.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited this weekend because
Nice.
I've started a new old game.
Oh.
I say an old game because it's been around for like a lot of years, but
Uh-huh.
I'm out of the loop.
Getting some video game time. I'm
Yeah.
jealous, bro.
I'm gonna play The Witcher 3.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty.
Now, does that come from the game?
No, it's from the movie or from the TV show.
Thank
on
God for
Netflix.
that. I was thinking I'm not gonna play that game if I got to listen to that all the time. That's the theme song, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. It may actually have been in the game. I only got about 10 hours into that game.
Yeah, okay,
and I was like, yep.
Nope.
I don't got the time to devote to this guy.
It is. It's quite the heft of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what I've heard.
I've played.
It's what I've heard.
I've put in approximately 15 to 17 hours, and I've opened 3 out of 7 inventory screens.
Beauty.
Yeah, so excited about that. What have you been into?
Oh.
Now this is coming from a gamer.
Yeah.
Like I dabble. My toe dips in every once in a while.
Oh God, it's so good.
I think last year I spent a grand total of $13 on video games.
Wow.
So, and that's just
I'd do that on
Monday?
microtransactions yesterday.
what is our old gamer up to these days?
Well, I broke down a couple weeks back at some begging and pleading, and had to get the new World of Warcraft. They got the Shadowlands expansion.
There's a new World of Warcraft?
Well, it's still the same game, just a new expansion for it.
How many expansions have there been? I feel like that game's like 30 years old.
15, 17 years. I didn't even start playing in the beginning. I didn't get in until like the 3rd expansion, but I think there's 5 or 6 expansions. So I'm not as one would say, a holy Shiite wowhead.
A wowhead.
But I play it enough.
I don't think I've even heard that term, wowhead.
I may have just made it up.
I was going to go with Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. They're one of the greatest videos.
Really good. Really good. And I remember when I watched that for the first time, I thought it was hilarious, and I know nothing about video games.
I tell you, one of the biggest things that almost got me really involved with World of Warcraft was that stupid South Park episode.
For sure.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Make love, not Warcraft.
Yes. Speaking of wonderful television shows,
Yes.
probably one of the greatest.
Well, yeah, dude, hands down.
I mean, I think we talked about a couple of episodes ago about The Simpsons being kind of this groundbreaking work.
Sure.
And then it literally took third seat to Family Guy and South Park.
And then South Park,
well,
yeah.
South Park first and then Family Guy. But
Yeah.
my goodness, what are they on now? 23? 23 seasons?
24.
24 seasons.
Yeah, they
Every
did
single season.
They did their COVID special.
Which is brilliant.
Which
is brilliant.
Oh my God, if words could describe.
Now, so like, just to put this in scale, we've done 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not funny, like we're funny to each other,
Yeah,
but not overly humorous.
it feels good to us.
So we've done 8, and we feel on top of the world
Yes.
with our 7 subscribers.
Uh-huh.
Now they've done 24 seasons with approximately 15 to 20 episodes in every season.
No, I don't think there's that many. I think
Really?
there's anywhere between 10 and 14, maybe 16.
Okay,
They're not full like sitcoms. Sitcoms usually do
22,
like 22,
yeah.
24, 26.
But we're talking about hundreds
hundreds
of
of
animated episodes and 2 movies? I mean, just
think
South
of-
Park, not the like Team America and some of that other stuff.
I think just the one, the Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh, that's right.
I think that's the only South Park movie.
Okay.
Now you do have a couple of 3-part episodes that
That's right.
that do get kind of
What was the one with the animals?
the Imagination Land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that one.
That's a good one. It's one of my favorites.
I believe there's like 2 or 3 other ones that they had pulled along that were 2, 3 episodes that just kind of get bound up into one long episode
I see.
or a TV show or a movie.
Well, regardless, just pivotal works.
Yep.
Really, really good. And for a pastor, it creates some issues as far as watching. However, even in my field, I think there's some good things to be learned from maybe some cultural commentary.
Sure.
And South Park probably is one of the greatest cultural commentaries of our time.
Yeah, because they don't care who you are. They're going to
Not at
crap
all.
on you.
They are. I have taken on the mantra of equal opportunity hater.
Hater.
And they most definitely are that.
Yep. Faux show.
Well, let's get, I tell you what, we've done a little introduction. We talked about our video games. Now, you're into WoW right now.
Right now?
Didn't mean to rhyme. I've only been rhymificating for, a couple years.
Well, it'll grow on you.
Rhymificating didn't roll off the tongue immediately, but I kind of like it.
It's actually ramification-ing.
It definitely is not.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to what we all come to love and enjoy. How about a little Libations Library?
Yeah. Libations! You know what? I'm really glad that we don't do that on the spot every time, because there's no way I would have hit that one again.
Yeah. It's well done.
Yeah,
It's well done. You had a wonderful producer put that together.
Yep.
Yep.
Dad. Not even gonna tip his hat over here though. I don't even like the guy.
I'll send you a bill.
That's fair.
So we're gonna do something that we probably won't do very often. We're going to sample another libation today that we also kind of sort of did last week. So last week we dipped our toes into the
Jacuzzi, baby.
into the jacuzzi of Mead.
You know what I mean?
Know what I mean? And we loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Now, we loved it so much that we got another Mead for this week.
That is correct.
And so if you're meeting something other than Mead, not this week. Maybe number 9. Maybe number 9 will treat you better.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It depends on how these meats keep laying out.
If this one's as good as last week, then we might have it.
We might just change it to Libations know what I mean.
All right, so this one is from a brewery, and I'll kind of let Beezy talk about it a little bit, but it's called Viking Blood. And so, Beezy, why don't you just tell us a little bit about this libations we're going to be trying out?
Viking Blood. Bärskerlig flicka. Dansk murst. Burger pa beises af. Gammeldansk afskurt. Fra den norskiske...
Bro.
Yeah, what?
Is there an English translation on that website?
Oh. Well, there is a button over here.
Okay.
I mean, I guess.
That would help most of our listeners.
I really enjoyed doing that.
I liked it too.
So,
but in English would be nice.
In English, Baxter. You know I don't speak Spanish.
Beauty, bro.
So, Viking Blood, the description of this guy. In order to establish this mead, we have combined the traditional brew with dried hibiscus. In addition to the color this spice adds.
Wait.
What?
Hibiscus?
Hibiscus?
That's like a flower, isn't it?
I mean, I've only been horticulturalizing.
You mead?
You know what I mean?
only the Vikings can take something like hibiscus flowers and make it sound freaking awesome.
So was that Chinese cherry blossoms? This is what we're gonna go murder town folk in. Slam some cherry blossom. Go slaughter some Anglicans.
Tomorrow we rape and pillage. Tonight, the cherry blossom specials. Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, so you did it. You did it in Viking. You did it in English.
Okay.
Can you do it in Hoingy Boingy?
Oh, for certain. In order to establish the mead, we have combined a traditional brew with dried hibiscus. In addition to the color, the spice adds an aromatic and floral aftertaste to this mead, like a good muddy aria.
Okay. All right.
How's that work?
Hibiscus rolls off the tongue so much better in Hoingy Boingy than it does.
It really does. Hibiscus.
Oh, gracious. All right. For serious. Tell us about this Viking Blood mead that we're about to drink.
Oh, well, for starters, it's 19%.
Good God. Are you serious? How is that beer anymore?
Well, it's not. It's mead.
It's mead. Okay, fair enough.
It's a mead. You know what a mead?
Okay. So for clarification and a little bit of oh, I don't know what you call it, putting it in scale, wine is typically 13 and a half, right? 14, something like that.
Yeah.
So this is 19. And we talked a couple weeks ago about the strongest beer being 60.
No, 55%.
Right.
That was the
wow.
The end of history.
And it would be the end of history. Yes. By the way, the end of history is served in squirrel skin.
Squirrel. Taxidermied squirrel.
Beauty. If you want to listen to that, go check out episode number 6. Freaking hilarious. This one's 19%.
19%. This was actually recommended again by my stepmom and my dad. Apparently he really likes this one.
I'm sure he does. Storm and Norman.
Storm and Norman.
Imagine Storm and Norman has one of these and he's pretty set for the night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's Viking ancestry, and this is just a nightcapper.
Probably so. I have seen Storm and Norman drink 20 beers in a row, and you really can't really even tell.
I remember, and Brian can vouch on this one if he ever listens again, but we had to go out there, and he had a couple of dirt mounds in front of his well house, and we had to basically pick the tree trunks that were now weeds that were growing out of this, so he could get a backhoe and move the dirt mounds.
Yes.
So we go out, and we're trying to pull these tree trunks for 2-3 hours, and Dad rolls up, hands us a Heine, and
gross.
We drink. Yeah, it's not a fan of Heineken. So we drink the Heineken. Brian vomits. I'm not sure if
Good
it was
old
the
West
Heineken
Texas heat
or the West Texas heat and the physical labor.
Woo.
And so he Ralphs. We load up. We go back to the casa. And about 2 hours later, I called Dad to see something. And I was asking him how late he ended up staying out and pulling weeds and how much he got done. He goes, I got it all done. There's no freaking way, dude.
And by the way, these are Texas tumbleweed-sized weeds.
Yeah.
Like
just
huge monstrosities.
Trees. and I'm not kidding you when I say trees. They had at least several of them had a 2 to 3 inch root base.
Nice.
So they were massive. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he threw down some Viking blood and just with all the might of Valhalla, just Mjolnir got out there and just smacked the crap out of that dirt and yanked all that shit out. He's a champion.
He is a champion. I like that guy. I miss that guy.
We should put him on our team.
We totally should. He's got money, I think, too.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Most of it goes to Heineken.
Yeah. No, not anymore. It's wine.
Oh, really?
He's a big wine guy.
Wow. We kind of lost some prestige in my mind.
Well, his thing is wine's better for the heart, so a bottle of wine is really good for the heart.
Okay, all right.
You gotta respect the logic.
Hey, look, I like the hustle. I really do. So Viking Blood Mead, 19%.
19%.
Where does this bottle hail from?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yes.
Wow. So this bottle has traveled the great oceans.
Yeah. Just hop to the pond.
All right. So it looks like our bottle. It looks like a cute wine bottle. Like it's fairly tiny.
So for you wine connoisseurs, it's in a small bottle, almost like a dessert wine bottle,
like a port.
Sure. I don't know what they're called. I just know it's called a dessert wine.
Yeah,
they come in a fancy little expensive bottle.
They are expensive. Now, they're quite tasty, but they're very expensive.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's give it a little nosy.
Okay. Tell you what. Before we do that, can you tell us how might one procure this particular beverage?
Oh yeah. So this is acquired from the same location that we got it last week.
That's right.
Oh man, and my stupid computer crashed.
Nice.
Yay!
I do know that it's
It's the Honey Buzz Winery. It's also a part of the Honey Creek Canyon.
Great little company in Canyon, Texas. We won't hype it much. If you need some more information on it, go back and listen to number 7. We talk about it probably more than we should have.
Pretty extensively.
But great little place. We really like it. But this is not their brew.
Not theirs, no. They import this, I believe.
Okay, so they bring this in. And so this is Blood Viking.
Viking blood.
I like Blood Viking.
It's like Blood Eagle.
Yeah. So I might be wanting to do some Blood Eagles on somebody after we drink this.
Bro, I'm smelling this.
19%.
It smells...
Okay, so on the nose...
On the nose, it smells like Jägermeister and Coca-Cola.
Now,
I think I know why Dad likes it.
so essentially what you're smelling is ethanol. That's what's coming out of that.
That could be it.
So it really does smell like some sort of Coke product with a liquor.
Yeah.
That's strange. Now,
Interesting.
Beezy is well versed in the world of Jaeger.
Yeah.
So much so that he has the little German deer on his pectoral.
Yeah, tattooed.
Yeah. It's, well, I mean, it's all right.
It's a sight.
It's all right. It probably needs to be touched up just a bit.
Oh, yeah. Definitely does. It's
you
old.
You got that done at what?
05.
Dang, son. 15 years.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
Old
I
ink.
know everybody's anticipating this, so let's give this a whirl.
'Kay.
And we'll chat about it.
All right. Oh, cannolis.
Okay. Well,
Oi.
yeah,
Very, very honey-y.
very much so. Lots of honey, and maybe so much honey I don't get the hibiscus.
I'm not upset with that.
There's-
Just not a huge hibiscus fan.
There is some floral notes for sure, and there's a little bit of fruit on the back, but it doesn't say anything about fruit in the description, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Super syrupy sweet to me.
It says it's got honey with added water, ginger, and hibiscus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that could be the little spice that I was getting.
Yeah, I get the ginger for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that part, and I like the front of the sip a lot.
Yeah.
It's the rest of it that I'm not digging. It's super thick, it's syrupy, it's very sweet, but it's
That's another sip.
Don't
breathe. Don't breathe while you're doing that. Good God.
Imagine your captain being like, "Hey, tomorrow we rape and pillage the neighbor, and tonight we drink this."
Viking's blood. Don't worry, it doesn't have the cherry blossoms.
It's like, do y'all have any Natty Light back there or anything? 'Cause,
Good gracious.
okay, I like it. I don't love it,
I'm
but I like it.
enjoying it. I am enjoying it. Like I said, it on the front I get real heavy honey flavors.
Very much so.
In the mid, I get a little bit of that peppery, gingery flavor.
Do you?
And then maybe on the back end, some of the floral, and then more honey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's
And-
sweet all the way through.
It's strange. It's strange how it hits the palate because when you, like, if you take a shot of whiskey,
Yep.
you feel it burn the whole way down.
Yep.
This doesn't do that. It has like a quick initial burn,
It really does.
and then it just fades super quickly.
And interestingly, it's a high alcohol content for a beer or wine, but not for a spirit.
Right.
But it almost burns like a
Like
spirit.
a spirit, sure.
That's interesting. Okay, so look, I'm gonna give a caveat
Okay.
to my ranking.
I would put an asterisk next to it like we did last
Oh,
week.
that's right, asterisks. Okay, so this is going to go in the mead category. To me, there's if there's any carbonation here,
mead?
it's light. Yes,
To mead or to you?
to mead. Here's the way I feel about this mead to mead.
Okay. I like it.
We're gonna get really confused.
Yep.
For too long. 65.
65,
Now,
huh?
65 for the beer category.
Okay.
Now, this is assuming that we can cross lines. Because technically, now, if you haven't listened to the 6th podcast of The Skeptical Zealot, where we talk about all of the alcohol in the world, a little shout out there
Yeah.
to the other podcast. You should check that out.
Yep.
Mead and beer are made in very similar ways. So you can say that a mead is a beer, but not necessarily. If we're going to go with the premise that this is a beer, then I'm going to give it a 65. If we're going to say that mead is a separate category in last week's and this week's, I'm going to put this all the way into like the mid 80s.
Okay.
I do not like it as a beer at all. So if somebody said we're going to sit down, we're going to drink a beer, and they serve this,
I'm punching you in the face.
a D, a solid D. I don't like it.
Who wants a keg of the vacuum blood? We're gonna play some beer pong.
But if we were at the establishment and our wives were spending all of our money and we sat down, we had an ice cold small glass of this, that's now a B plus, like
now,
an 86, 87.
My cares of money getting spent.
That's right.
Are slowly fading.
Which we will do anything to make that sense fade because it's going to happen regardless.
For sure.
So that's my ranking.
65. So,
if it's a beer. If it's in the mead category, 86, 87.
So like we kind of discussed last week, should we do a mead/beer?
I think we ought to
combined or do mead in the beer category with asterisks next to them?
I'm a fan of the mead so far. And this is only the second one I've ever had. So I'm thinking we do a separate category completely.
Okay.
And just do a mead category.
Okay. I like it.
It's a thought. So if that's the case, 86, 87.
Okay.
Good solid B plus rating.
Fair enough. We'll roll with that.
I dig it.
You dig it.
I would not want to drink this before a battle.
See, I'm different.
Okay. Well, I know you're different, but
because I would totally want a shotgun.
The whole little mini cute bottle,
bro. I want the big one. I want a beer bong.
Hey, and by the way, they have a bigger bottle of this available at that place for $35.
Good grief!
They're a little bit on the pricey side.
By the way, it's called Creek House Honey Farm.
Creek House Honey Farm.
So I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
You can go buy this bottle. The small bottle's like $15, and the bigger ones, like I said, like $35. If you like meads, I'm telling you, it's really good. But man, it's all there.
I just want you to know, looking at the website, you can actually get, if you're digging it enough,
okay,
you can get 2.6 gallons of it.
What?
Yeah. 10 liters.
Gallons of meat.
10 liters.
Whoa.
That is 2.6 gallons of Viking blood.
For how much?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Oh, it doesn't say?
Well, not in English.
So this is from the actual distributor place.
Yeah, this is off of mush.dk.
Wow. I wonder if that's like a mini keg of some sort.
No, it's actually just sitting in a let me see if I can pick this laptop up and show it to you.
Don't spill anything there.
It's not nice. That one.
Oh, that's hilarious. So for those of you, well, we don't have video yet because we're not sophisticated enough. But what you have is you have like a little cute bottle, and then you have the moonshine edition, which is a little glass bottle with the thumb screw, with the thumb hook, where you can moonshine it over your shoulder.
Yep.
Or not your shoulder, your elbow.
Elbow.
And then the other one is literally an oil vat. It looks like what you buy like peanut oil in. 3 gallons of Viking blood.
Viking blood.
The peanut oil vat.
Yep.
Wow.
Then you rape and pillage.
Yeah. If you're gonna go rape and pillage tomorrow, definitely drink it. Definitely drink it out of the peanut oil vat.
Yeah, most def.
Wow.
Well, I guess if we're gonna do the double categories, I think I want to put this one at about a 70 if it ranks in with the beers.
Okay.
If we're gonna roll strictly mead, I feel like I want to roll 87.
So we're right on the same page pretty much.
Fairly close. Fairly close.
All right. What is it? What's missing in your opinion? Now, granted, we're not experts on mead by any stretch. Both of us could claim some expertise in the beer field, maybe not on mead. So, in my opinion, it's missing some bitters.
That could be what it is.
I think it's so sweet the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. And then see the longer you sit back on the back end of it, the even further back end of it, like right now, I've got a little bit of that lingering honey.
Okay. which makes sense.
Which is slightly bitter.
Okay. Well,
Which I'm not opposed. I could be the cigar. I don't know.
we are smoking some cigars, some good ones. AJ Fernandez and
No
little
CAO so far.
Yeah, that's right. Good stuff.
I did like that little guy.
Yeah,
he
it's good
was a
stuff.
little boy.
Well, great brew. Wonderful addition to our Libations Library. Don't forget, we're going to have what they call a live ranking eventually put up with all of our rankings and all of our beers.
Yep.
Every libation. Eventually, we're going to be branching into some spirits and maybe some wine at some point. Although, I don't know. Definitely an uneducated view of the wine, but could be fun.
Could be fun.
So we'll look forward to that, and make sure to look forward to that on our website, which is fwtgpodcast.com. And that is, we're excited about that website. And also, you should be able to go to the bottom right corner of the website and leave us a voicemail. So if you want to leave us anything at all, if you want to leave us a question or a comment, just a word of appreciation or a screw you guys, whatever you want to leave, go to the bottom right corner of that website and you can leave us a voicemail. We might even play it on an episode.
Especially if it's a screw you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're going to Todd Tom the crap out of you.
We're definitely looking forward to that. Excited about the new website. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
And so we'll have all the show notes there. We'll have all the episodes there. We'll have commentary. We'll have emails. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a work in progress. If there's anything you'd like to see on there that we're not doing, please let us know. And for now, if Mr. Beezy's not opposed, let's go right into our 4 questions segment.
I like it.
4 questions. 4 questions.
Oh, goodness gracious. I love it.
So just like last week, we'll leave that out there for if you can tell us where that came from. And nobody yet has been able to answer that.
Nobody got it.
Let's go right into 4 questions. The first one is from a Zach, and it's actually for Beezy, but we're both going to talk about it just a little bit because I got a couple of questions maybe in addition because he doesn't give any other, no other context.
Okay.
All right, so as it pertains to PC gaming, how long between buying a new PC and replacing said PC?
Ooh. Well, I think, and you can't quote me on this because I've only been gaming for about
We're going to quote you
48 years.
48 years. So Pong?
Yeah, I invented Pong.
Oh, nice.
And
How's that royalty check coming
They
in?
stole it from me, so I'm not getting anything.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
dang Asians.
I'm telling you. Just ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
They got the leg up on me. But for a PC, I think kind of the general rule of thumb is 10 to 15 years to replace.
Really?
Now, if you are avid into gaming, such as myself, my brother's the same way.
Okay. Now, you'll have to excuse the question. Is there a difference between an avid like console gamer versus a PC gamer?
Oh, certainly.
Okay. Now you consider yourself kind of a
Both.
cross specimen?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm a cross hopper.
A crosshopper. Which is like a grasshopper, except way nerdier.
Exactly. Me and the word nerds kick it occasionally. But no, so the console, and we've discussed this in
a
like
couple
episode
episodes
4,
ago.
I believe.
Yep.
But consoles are not able to be added on feasibly.
Okay, so you're talking about like the hardware upgrades.
Correct. Where, like I said, then PCs are erector sets.
Okay.
Me personally, I will rebuild a computer until the parts needed basically have to outgrow my tower. And
Okay.
that's probably the biggest thing on when you would need to buy a new one.
Okay.
Because you can be upgrading pieces at a time. As the years go on, something new comes out. Your graphics card, you can change your graphics card out.
Okay.
Super easy.
So you're saying maybe you could have like an initial investment of $2,500 to $3,000.
Oh, good grief, no.
Okay, well, I'm just for instance,
Oh, okay.
if you wanted to go balls to the wall.
All right, fair enough.
Great computer, right? Play any game on the market.
Okay.
And then over the next decade, you could piecemeal as needed and still get by.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, with a top of the line gaming PC right now, if you're going to be able to run 4K VR is the biggest thing.
And that's a big deal now, right?
It takes huge amounts of CPU processing power. Your GPU, your graphics power unit.
Okay, so Windows 95 probably not going to cut it.
You just broke it.
I upgraded to Vista not too long ago, so
wow. I don't even know you anymore. At least you're not an Apple guy.
Not yet, sir. Well,
but no. So kind of general rule of thumb is 10 years. And me as a somewhat avid, I don't stream gaming or anything like that, so I don't necessarily have to have the King Kong daddy of all of the equipment and parts and whatnot. So I can usually here and there. About 3 weeks ago, I replaced my motherboard, processor, upgraded my RAM.
Okay.
And
what'd that set you back?
About 700.
Okay.
Roundabouts.
All right.
But that's got me up to current gen stuff.
Okay. So that'll probably last you 3-4 years.
No, the processor, RAM, the RAM is super cheap to upgrade. But the motherboard and the processor are, man, I could probably run those for 10, 15 years.
Wow.
Depending on how technology does.
Sure. Because, who knows, right?
I mean, that's true.
That's true.
That's true. But no, I guess to answer your question, it really depends on how avid into gaming you are.
Fair enough.
Because you can pretty much play a game until the graphics card says you can't play that game anymore.
That's a fair point.
I mean, all of the graphics cards now have software whenever you install them.
Right.
And you can usually run performance tests to see, or basically to optimize the graphics that your card can run for any of the games you have on your computer.
Okay.
So
all right. I got you.
if it says low, not optimized on anything, probably start with a graphics card.
Okay.
See if it's compatible with everything else. Otherwise, slowly.
If I wanted to play SimCity 2000, what kind of computer investment am I looking at?
Smartphone.
Literally, the last game I played on PC was SimCity 2000.
Oh, you're so disgusting.
So, not.
Why are we even friends?
I don't know. Not a PC gamer. But okay, so good to know. So if let's just, I'm going to add a question here just for me personally. Okay. If I wanted to get into PC gaming, let's keep this brief because we need to go on.
Sure.
If I wanted to get into it and I wanted to play if I want to play 70% of the games available, so most of the games that are released today and the past couple of years, what kind of investment am I looking at?
You could get a quality gaming computer for $800.
Really?
Now, granted, you're probably going to have to build,
right,
and
piece all that together.
Piece it together. You could go to Best Buy. Best Buy has them anywhere between $1,500 and $2,000. And I mean,
and is most of that cost wrapped up in them building it for you?
A lot of it is they put a lot of. They usually, with those gaming computers, they'll throw in a pretty sweet tower.
Okay.
Which houses everything.
Okay.
And I mean, if you're building it yourself, you could get a $40 tower.
Okay.
And you can cut costs, no problem.
I see.
There's just specific areas where you can't cut costs, but you could get older gen parts, hardware, software, stuff like that, and come in 600 to 800.
Okay, and I take it the parts you can't cut like the processor, the graphics card.
You could get by. I was running with the processor that I just replaced. I was running the Intel quad core Phenom.
Okay, I have
and that came
zero
out.
Idea what that is.
Man, that was probably in 2010-ish.
Okay,
is when it came out.
All right.
And
so we're talking a decade old?
I literally just replaced it because when I got the new upgrade into World of Warcraft, the Shadowlands, it popped up and said that my processor was going to not be valid and run any future expansions for World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So
had to upgrade.
It was long in the making to happen anyhow, because that's the one thing that's kind of been slowing my machine down.
I got you.
But like I said, don't do it till the game says you can't.
Okay, fair. All right.
If you just want to game it, just game it.
Just game it.
Till it says you can.
All right. Well, I apologize for going so long on that particular question, but it's something I'm interested in, and it's something that Beezy is quite knowledgeable in. Also, Beezy just got a nose full of mead.
Oh, my goodness. It gets harder the warmer it gets, bro.
So last week, we noticed that the warmer it got, the more nuance came out.
Yeah.
And this week, not so much.
Not so much.
It gets syrupier.
It got louder.
All right. Let's. All right. So thanks for that question, Zach. We really appreciate it. How about question number 2?
All right. Question numero doskis. This is coming from Omnist.
Nice.
And he says, and I'm going to read this verbatim.
Shoot.
Is it possible for humans to live in another planet?
In another planet.
Yeah, in.
Not on.
It says in.
Okay. So, possible, yes. Probable, yes. But a while from now.
Yeah.
Let's say best case scenario. Well, look.
Worst case scenario.
To be fair. Matt Damon's out there making poop potatoes right now.
I'm telling you.
So.
Bro, you imagine if we hooked old Damon up while he's up on Mars with a poop bouillon?
A poop bouillon with poop potatoes?
Oh, man. You be having to kick people off them space shuttles. And trying to get up in my poop bouillon taters.
you got poop ramen, poop bouillon, poop potatoes on another planet?
Oh.
I mean, good grief, man. What else is there?
How do you keep the ladies back?
This world got nothing.
Ain't got nothing. That's what Elon's doing. He contacted me the other day, and he big fan of the podcast. He was asking if he could invest in the a poop bouillon.
Yeah, I wish he would.
I told him, come on, Elon. Elon, come on now. I'm only going to let you do that if you hook it up with a space shuttle ride.
All right.
He said, all right, I'll take you around the moon. I said, fair enough.
Okay, question real quick before we dive back into that. If you were given the opportunity to leave this planet with your family and you were guaranteed survival till your death, would you go?
Well, that is a very sus question.
That is.
Survival till death.
Till your death.
Till my death.
Yep.
Does that mean that we're surviving till the crashes or we run out of oxygen?
I don't know. That's the terms of the contract. It says so we guarantee the survival until your death.
Could be fun. Oh man,
I tell you what, that might be a Thinky Blinder in the future.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It really is.
Hold on to that.
I will.
Mark it in the books.
I'll put it down. Enhance. Okay, so I would say yes. There's obviously a chance of building life on another planet. Like we're actively seeking that right now.
Sure.
So, can we foresee building life inside of a planet? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the next step, right? Is to make underground bunkers. If we send the Doomsday guys now to another planet, what are they going to do on the new planet?
We don't even got to do that, bro. We already got mole people.
Well,
If y'all haven't gone down the rabbit hole
on the mole people,
of mole people, it is a doozy.
it's a lot of fun.
Give it a look. See, that's
think
all
it's-
we're gonna say.
I think I'm going to say one more thing.
Okay.
I think it's more fun than the flat earthers.
Agreed.
I really do. It's quite enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, how dumb do you got to be?
I don't know. If you're a mole person, maybe we're the dumb ones.
Maybe it is flat if you're a mole person.
Maybe it is.
Could all be flat to them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's true.
That's true.
Any other caveats to this question? If we can build life inside another planet?
Well, there was an interesting one. The top answer, of course, it got real sciencey.
Of course.
And it said, at this point in history, we don't have the technology to build anything that would allow humans to live on another planet.
Says who?
But if the technology exists, I'm sure they can make it a doomed planet where we could exist.
Look, our previous president specifically built a Space Force.
I'm telling you.
Obviously, the government has a way to get us there.
Well, they're already heading that way.
Yeah. Why else would there be a means to protect it?
Exactly.
We got to protect the space Silk Road, right?
Snap.
A little bit of a historical.
Historical license.
All right, so I'm done with that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It felt good.
Yeah, all right. All right, number 3. This is a good question.
Uh-oh.
What do you think about people that color their hair pink, purple, green, or blue?
Oh, goodness.
Now, it's from Anonymous, and there's no other caveat to the question. Just what do you think
Just
about
that's it.
And they didn't say etc. or any other qualifier. It's literally just
those 4 colors.
pink, purple, green, or blue.
Huh.
So I would assume they're talking about colors outside of the normal spectrum of human colors,
Sure,
but they do
sure.
not say that. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question really.
You know, back in the day,
Back in the day being what?
I don't know, probably 5-10 years ago.
Okay,
Granted, it wasn't near as prevalent as it is now.
that's true.
But back then, if you saw that, you're like, whoa, what a freaking weirdo.
Usually, yep.
But now it's such common culture to see it.
Does seem to be.
You're just like, way to express yourself. You go, girl.
I will say for me personally, usually it's what's accompanying the hair
Sure.
color, not the hair
Yeah.
color. If the rest of you is a hippie train wreck, then I don't care what the color of your hair is.
Oh, goodness. I can already picture that. A hippie train wreck.
I mean, can't you with with the dreads and you got it kind of a braided where in just a way where the colors come out in like a checkered pattern in the back.
They probably braid it with the Viking blood. Honey.
The hibiscus.
Yeah, the hibiscus.
That would be something somebody would say that has their hair colored pink. It's like, oh, I really dig your pink hair. It's hibiscus. I when I meet these people, and I've met them. I have some friends that have their hair colored
Odd.
wonky colors.
Different.
It literally at this point doesn't really change anything about that person to me now.
Sure.
On the forefront, before meeting somebody, maybe. I'll admit that there's a possibility.
You're judging that book by that purple color.
I might be judging just a little bit. You know, last week we talked about the color purple novel. Might be a little bit different. The color purple, like
Hair.
your hair. So I
That's
don't know.
fair.
It is fair.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Gracious.
Oh.
They might. Ironically, the green and purple haired folks might be judging us right now.
Well, as they should.
No, that's fair.
Because they're probably Karens and Todd Toms.
They probably are Karens and Todd Toms.
I've known a couple purple hairs that's a little bit judgy.
Okay, this is just anecdotal, just me personally. I've never known anyone who has pink, purple, I've known one blue hair. Blue hair. That sounds bad. Like I'm describing a catfish or something.
From the Hunger Games. The blue hairs.
The blue hairs.
Section 3 blue hairs.
I don't know anyone who has wonky colored hair that is not a little bit pretentious.
That's true.
That is true. I can't think of any of the ones that I know that are normal.
Are any of us normal?
That's don't get philosophical.
All right. I've only been falafel-sizing for a bit, but...
Did you just say falafel?
Falafel-sizing?
I like falafel.
I do like it.
I do like it too.
Not as good as crepes.
That's true. That's true.
But I've been falafel-sizing for a little bit,
Okay.
and I just put a blue streak in my hair.
Nice. So every decade of falafel sizing, you get a streak.
You get a streak?
All right. Okay. I like it.
Yep.
Some people are well beyond you in years then. I don't immediately judge them,
Conformists.
but I judge them maybe like just a little bit.
Just a little bit judgy.
Just a little bit. Okay.
Don't tell them.
Number 4.
All right. This is a good one. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
I got a little bit of a quick intro and then a bit of a story.
Okay.
This is coming from Jesse.
All right.
And Jesse says...
Not the big worm, Jesse.
Not the big worm, Jesse.
Okay. Another
big
Jesse.
worm.
All right.
Nah, I think you can handle this itch.
All right.
Am I going to die?
That's the immediate question.
That's how it starts
Now,
out.
before you go on, from the pastor side, I will say, my son, yes,
Everybody will.
Yeah, you're going to die at some point.
Everybody meets that fate.
But anyway, continue.
So, Jesse goes on to say, okay, so I was driving home, and I took a turn that led me down kind of a spooky country road. Like, there were some trees and houses dispersed, but it still gave off a real spooky feeling. And I had to pull over to fix my Google Maps because being on your phone and driving is not good. So now my car won't start. It is nighttime too. So am I going to die?
Okay, all right. This must be a city fella.
You can always tell city folks.
You really can. You really can. Because never have I been driving down a scary road and thought, you know what? These trees and these random farmhouses, they're creeping me the French out.
A little spooky.
That's home for me, son.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I know those folks.
That's
That's why we stay away from Bobby Ray.
right.
We just don't go around his house.
Tell you what. oh, touchy feeler.
Everybody else is cool.
He got that drifting hand.
You got to watch out for Bobby Ray, and you got to watch out for the Dangles down over there on the end of the street because they got a pet bobcat that'll mess you up.
He got that dang-do bobcat.
Everybody else cool.
They all right, people.
All right, so city folk.
Definitely.
All right, so I can see how a city folk would be a little bit freaked out in
For
the country.
certain.
All right, it's
Because
dark.
that's why he instantly goes to
Am I gonna die?
answers.
That is pretty good. Okay, so first and foremost, you're probably not going to die. You might get touched on a little bit if you come in contact with little Bobby Ray. Not going to die.
A little scurvy, maybe.
A bit. If your car won't start, there's some good news and some bad news.
The good news.
Let's start with the bad news.
The bad news.
The bad news, in my opinion, is you're probably miles from any kind of help. AA?
Triple
No,
A.
not AA.
Yeah.
You might need AA.
You might need AA.
You might, but Triple A.
Depends on why you're out there in the first place.
That's a good point. And it also depends on how long you stay out there.
True.
And if you drink much of this Viking blood,
You're going to need
you're
AA.
going to need AA for sure.
Show.
The bad news is you're away from help, quote unquote. The good news is help's right around the corner, man.
I mean, all you got to do is ask Bobby Ray.
There's shade tree mechanics literally at every single house you come upon.
Most likely they are willing to help, or they know a brother or a cousin
Yep.
or a sister's cousin's boyfriend's wife
Yep.
who's ex-husband is a mechanic.
Yep. Or maybe their brother daddy.
Brother Daddy. Yeah. Brother Daddy could be a mechanic too.
It's a possibility.
Grandpa Dad, get in here.
So you're okay. You're okay, son.
You'll be
just
all right.
just turn off your phone. Go to the next house you see with the porch light on. Don't you be going up on anybody's porch if it doesn't have a light on.
Ooh,
So no. Yep. They'll run you off real quick.
Dim's heels have eyes.
They do, and they usually come.
They shoot.
I was fixing to say they come in the size BB, like double B shotgun.
Yep. Lots of little BBs.
That's right. Go up to somebody's house, has a porch light on, knock on the door, wait for them to restrain their dog, because they will need to restrain their
they
dog.
got the dog in the house.
So wait for them to do that, and they'll help you out.
Most likely they will.
I mean, even city folk deserve a little love sometimes.
I mean, us country folk ain't bad people.
We're not bad people.
Most time.
We got our issues.
We do have our porch light off. You better not come a knocking.
But I think you're going to be okay.
I like it.
I like number 8's questions.
I do.
It's good times.
Pretty solid.
I tell you what, let's do something that I dreadfully missed last week.
Yeah.
Let's go to Cinemize. Just fantastic.
Phenomenal.
That is quality entertainment right there. I don't care if that's the only thing you came for. It's worth it.
Yep.
Totally
Agreed.
worth it.
Agreed. That is wholesome family fun at its finest.
It is. So Cinemize with these guys this week. Something we're going to tie into what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I like it.
Video games.
Video games.
How many wonderful movies came from video games?
Now, wonderful. That's a very, very skewed point of view.
I think we reserved the term wonderful for one.
Wonderful. And a derful is, for those of you that aren't into etymologies,
we're nerds.
So a derful is a singular decentness at minimum.
A decentness.
A decentness.
Okay.
You just been done one by Ronnie Dobbs.
Okay, so Cinemize movies with it's
video games that went to movies.
there we go. Not the other way around. Is there any other way around that started as movies that
Became video games?
became a video game?
Oh, possibly, but I don't know those.
I don't know those either. Well, video games that became movies, we came up with a few, and then we actually looked up a few.
And most of them, from recollection, are just hot garbage.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I knew you were going to say hot garbage.
Oh my God. Being a video gamer, and I've been playing since the NES. My dad had an NES growing up, and we played Zelda,
Yeah.
Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I mean, the classic Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh, it's a good one.
And man, you get classic games
Yep.
that they decide to
Yep.
just debaucherize. I feel like that should be a word if it's not one.
If it's not, we should make it a segment.
Ooh.
Debaucherize with these guys.
Hashtag debaucherized.
I think this is pushing the envelope enough for the church folks. Maybe we shy away from that one.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So there's so many movies. When I say so many, there's
a handful.
There's a handful of movies that went from video games that were blockbuster video games.
Yeah, it's true.
That became movies. They saw the Hollywood big screen. And I've only got maybe 2 of them that were just decent.
Really?
Decent or better.
Okay.
Decent or better.
Let's start with the Let's start
The
with
flops?
No, not necessarily all the flops. I want to start with the early elephant in the room. The Super Mario Brother movie.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's
terrible.
It is. If you look it up, the inscription on the movie poster is "This ain't no game," and that's it.
That's it. Because they took the Hollywood writing. Who knows?
I don't know.
They took it freely.
It's forgettable.
It's not
Definitely.
forgettable for me.
If you've seen it, it scars the mind.
It scarred me. It scarred me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do some horrible mentions first. So that's definitely number one.
Horrible mentions. I
Yep.
love it.
Now, the one you said that actually just came out not too long ago was the counterpart to Mario Brothers,
Oh my god.
which was
Sonic the Hedgehog
with old
Jim Carrey.
which is really disappointing.
It was garbage.
I had high hopes.
I really did too. He looks like a
Looks the part,
brilliant
right?
Dr. Robotnik.
He does. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they tried to release the movie first with like
I already know where you're going with this.
it was like CGI.
It's still CGI, but so Sonic the Hedgehog, they released the first cinematic trailer, and I'm sure you can still find it.
You can. I found it.
And the uproar from the uproar from fans.
Yep.
They were like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
How dare you take just such a vile deuce on our childhood? This
And it
was
was
our
our
upbringing.
childhood.
It literally was.
Do you remember the time? I don't know. Look, I don't know if it is exactly the same in your mind as it is in mine, but I remember being a NES player. I had a Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then my rich friends got a Sega.
Sega!
And it was like, whoa, they got a Sega.
Yep.
And Sonic was the bomb.
Well, I remember growing up, the greatest thing was we had talked with our buddies and we were like, see if you can get a Sega because we're going to ask for a Super Nintendo.
Nice.
So we can have both systems.
Nice.
And that's exactly what happened.
Nice.
We got the Super Nintendo, and I will never forget, we got that Super Nintendo for Christmas.
Okay.
And the only game we had, Super Mario World,
Yep.
we literally played that stupid game for probably 16 hours.
Nice.
Just me and my brother.
Yep.
And just one of the greatest Mario games.
Good game.
Next to Super Mario RPG, by the way.
I would say Mario 3 for me really ranks up there.
3 was a good one.
Yep. I
3
liked
was
it.
good.
I like the little raccoon suit.
You know,
That was my favorite.
no, I can't even remember what the stupid suit's called.
I can't either.
The Tutuki?
Something like that. I don't know.
Felt good.
Anyway, we've
We derailed ourselves.
we did totally.
So
Back to movies.
yeah.
Okay, so those are two flops for sure. Mario Brothers and Sonic, both flops.
monster flops.
Not great. Street Fighter.
Street Fighter was manageably decent.
Okay, manageably decent being.
I mean it had Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
He played Guile.
Yeah.
I mean,
guess.
it was okay. Now, granted, when the time that it came out, I was still pretty heavily into playing Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's a great game.
So you sit there and you play that and you see it live action. You're like, oh my God, this is greatest. now, granted, I haven't, and maybe we should go back tonight. Maybe that's what we should watch this evening.
Okay.
Street Fighter.
All right, I'm down.
And just
Or maybe we
Verify.
should play Street Fighter.
we can do both. We
Okay.
can play Street Fighter while we watch it.
Like it.
So
Dig it.
with that being said, I don't know how terrible it actually is. I do remember, besides Guile being played by Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Okay.
M. Bison was played by the guy that did Mr. Adams from the Addams Family. I
Really?
forget his name.
I don't know.
Morticia and
That's the woman.
Yeah, well, her husband.
Yeah, Mr. Adams, I got you.
Adams. Anyways, that's who played in Bison. So,
Somebody out there's ripping out their hair right now that we
yeah,
can't remember that guy's
well,
name.
Good for them.
Okay, so question for you on movies.
Yep.
What about Ninja Turtles?
Okay.
What came first?
The NES version.
I would.
The NES version of Ninja Turtles.
Okay,
came
so the
out
first Ninja Turtles came from the video game.
Well, I mean, originally it was a spin from the comic book, but
Okay, I was just gonna say that. Was there a medium before that?
yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was a comic book.
And was it Japanese comic book?
Oh, I would have to phone a friend on that one, but I don't. I don't know. I would have to say
either.
it may have. May not.
Sorry.
No, it was American.
I
Yeah, we're
derailed
getting
us.
off again.
Okay,
Thanks
so
for derailing.
the flop I wanted to mention was one that I don't think you would have heard of, but I know you played the game.
Okay.
So the game is a Dungeon Siege.
Yeah, I played the game. What's the movie?
There's a movie called In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale, and it has...
Is that Jason Statham?
Yeah, Midget himself.
Huh.
And critics said featuring mostly wooden performances, laughable dialogue, and shoddy production values, In the Name of the King fulfills all expectations of an Bull film. I don't know what Bull film is, but it's not good.
Wow.
Yeah, so not great.
Because I did enjoy the Dungeon Siege games.
Yeah, game was decent.
Yeah.
Movie, not so much.
Apparently.
Let's talk about some good movies.
Yeah, some winners, some diamonds in the rough, if you will.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go first.
Do it.
Angry Birds.
Oh my god. Yeah.
They're so good.
You know, not just an uber huge fan of the Angry Birds game,
Not me. Me neither.
but I will say the movies are just brilliant. I loved both of them. I own both of them.
Yeah. Now you have a. What would you say? You have an excuse for owning both of them.
A child?
You have a child.
Yeah, I used that excuse, but that first movie came out like 3 years ago before she was even conceived.
Well, you were thinking ahead,
No, I was thinking selfishly still.
bro. I'm trying to give you an out.
I don't want an out. I enjoyed the movie.
I own both of them, and I don't have a child, so I have zero excuse. But good movies.
Great movies.
Good movies. Now I know you have one that may be the best.
Yeah, and it is going to be one of those crazy ones, but it's Detective Pikachu.
So, we looked it up a little bit before this. Detective Pikachu grossed $550 million.
Yep.
I have not seen it.
Bro, I own it.
You own Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
Okay.
It's that good.
Is it as terrible as it sounds? Because it sounds terrible.
It is a very nice ease into the Pokemon world.
Interesting. All right.
And to just capitalize on the whole amazingness of the movie, Ryan Reynolds voices Pikachu.
Okay. Well,
And how do you go wrong with Deadpool
that's
voicing
a win, right?
Pikachu?
Yep. I like it. I dig it. Okay. Let's end with probably my favorite
Okay.
and probably most people's favorite, which would be Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah. You know, that was at the time. That was 95-ish.
Yeah.
So
That was before the internet.
yeah, before the internet took storm and you
Yeah.
could watch it online.
Well, yeah, that's right.
The
Had to
Mortal
go down
Kombat,
to Blockbuster, see
the
if they had it
old
in stock.
Blockbuster, and you couldn't rent it.
That's right. Right.
But that game was actually the reason that the MSRP was developed. That's I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's basically
Really?
yeah, the video game ratings.
Right.
Because they said that it showed too much blood and this is Mortal Kombat 1.
The NES or the Super NES version of Mortal Kombat.
It was Super NES. I think it actually came out arcade first.
Really? Okay.
And then it was NES and Sega.
Wow. So
SNES and Sega.
Okay,
SNES
okay.
and Sega. And that one was it. Just there was such an outroar from parents. They're like, "Oh my god, what do you mean? There's blood?"
Yeah, who would have thought whenever you hit somebody with a pipe, the blood would come out a little
Or
bit,
claw hands,
or you scorpion them.
or you rip somebody's heart out.
That's right. That's right. Great game. Great second game. Mortal Kombat 2, the game.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
good.
Mortal Kombat 2.
3?
Well, hang on before we get there. Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. Not so good.
No way, no.
so
He said no way, no.
Now there is a third Mortal Kombat movie coming out, right?
Yes. So let me look at this real fast because I watched the trailer. They have the cinematic trailer, and it's slotted to come out April 16th of this year.
Beauty.
And it looks good.
Okay. Okay.
Totes gonna go see that one.
All right.
Or pirate it, I don't know.
So I would say the best movie that has been made from a video game is probably the first Mortal Kombat. Notable mentions being Resident Evil
Resident Evil is pretty decent.
and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And the only reason those two make the cut really is because of the female lead.
Yep. Well, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
let's be honest.
But I would be interested to hear our listeners' thoughts. Go to Facebook, send us an email. I think the best movie from video games is the first Mortal Kombat.
I can go with you on that one.
Yep.
That's fair.
I think so.
Just as an all-round, just encompassing.
Yep. Now, you had said briefly before we get off of this topic, you had said there's another movie coming out based on a video game that you love.
Oh, yeah. And well, there's no release date for it yet.
Okay, but it's in the works.
It's in the works, and it's the Borderlands movie.
Okay.
And if you've not played this, Quadrology.
Quadrology.
Yeah, Quadrology is...
Hang on. We're nerds! Is that a word?
It most certainly is. I swear to you. I
Okay.
didn't make that one up.
Okay, I'm calling in the word nerds, the etymologists, to come in and verify.
Okay, hang on. Let me... You Googleize it. Okay, Quadrology. A literary or artistic work consisting of 4 parts. A series or group of 4 related works. A tetralogy.
Can you do it in Hoingy Boingy?
A literary or artistic work consisting of 4 parts. A series or group of 4 relating arts. A tetralogy.
If you're from Scandinavian country, we love you. No disrespect.
Please don't hate us.
Please don't. You can't.
I mean, let's be honest. I've seen the analytics. We don't have anybody over there.
Okay. All right. Fair. Well, maybe we can get some of those clog wearing fools to listen in.
That'd be great.
They'll also be very angry that I called them clog wearers because I don't think that is the Scandinavian countries.
They may give us some points because we did drink some Vikings blood.
Hey, that's true. That's true. A little bit of that ancestry brew.
That's right.
All right.
Like it.
Well, let's jump right out of Cinemize and let's go right into our Thinky Blinders for the day.
Thinky Blinders.
So Thinky Blinders, it's a little bit different than our flagship segment, the 4 questions. 4 questions involves me and old Beezy sitting down and talking about questions beforehand, debating about topics, and talking about all the ins and outs. Thinky Blinders is a little bit different. Old Beezy and old Pinewood, we have our own questions for each other that...
you get to philosophize off the cuff.
And they're blind.
Hence the name.
We don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to these questions.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna flip a coin and decide who goes first. And we're actually not flipping a coin. I'm just gonna tell old Beezy that he's going first.
Oh no!
Oh no! All right, what you got for me, son?
He wasn't ready. All right. Well, this is a little bit topical,
Okay.
considering the state of our nation.
Ooh.
This comes from Anonymous.
Of course it does.
So, can anybody force me to wear a face mask outside in public? And then it goes on a little bit.
Okay.
It gets a little pushy.
All right.
Remember, put hands on me and you'll be dealt with. Not a violent person, but once there is any kind of physical contact, I will let fists fly.
Okay.
Who thinks they can make me wear a face mask out in public now?
Okay. All right.
But the core question of this is, can anybody force me to wear a face mask outside in public?
Okay, so this limits businesses, this limits government buildings, limits anything where you're going in an establishment. The only question is, can somebody force me to wear a face mask outside in public?
Yeah,
is that right?
Outside in public is how the question is presented.
I'm gonna give two answers.
Okay.
First one is absolutely, and the second one is absolutely not. So the first one absolutely is we've already seen it.
Sure.
We've literally seen images of people being tackled and arrested on beaches, not wearing a mask, and hauled in because they weren't wearing a mask.
Yep.
And a couple of those instances, they were tackled and arrested when there literally was no one around them. So, are we getting a little mask crazy in the United States? I would say yes. And part of the reason I would say yes is we're now venturing into a year of dealing with COVID, and there doesn't seem to be any correlation in a positive or a negative light in the places that require them and the places that don't. Take places like Texas and Florida and Arizona that don't require necessarily, that have been open most of the time. Compare them with California and Oregon and New York.
Arizona.
I already said it. Cases are about the same. So, can you? Yes. If you live in a place that has draconian measures in place that would allow authorities to tackle you. Now, can you fight back? Sure. Are there going to be ramifications if you fight back? Absolutely. So. Can you choose not to? Yes. Are there going to be ramifications if you choose not to? Probably. Yes. There's a very, very good chance of that. In our neck of the woods, probably not that big of a deal.
Sure.
Might be asked to leave an establishment if you walk into one, but if you're just on the sidewalk, I can't imagine that ever being an issue. If you're in New York or California, maybe.
Yeah.
So my question is always, how far do you want to push it and why?
Sure.
If you want to push it so far because of our rights and don't tread on me, that sort of thing, I'm right there with you. I'm a libertarian. I'm with you 100%. However, at what point do you risk injury to yourself? Do you risk maybe putting your family out because you're in jail for a certain period of time? You've got to weigh the risk reward.
Yep.
And you have the right and the freedom to assault a police officer if he puts his hands on you. However,
you also will be tased in the butthole.
Probably so. at the best. At the best taste. There's a possibility you might get shot.
Yep.
So
then there is that.
There's no broad, easy answer. You've got to weigh all your options here. I think it's really foolish to go out there and try to taunt the law. If the state you live in has passed some sort of regulation where you can't, I don't know why you would, with the exception of pushing back so much that you would jeopardize yourself and possibly people around you.
If there a caveat in this, what if it was, and I'm not 100% sure on different states, but what if, say, a state mandates masks? How do you feel about a state mandate?
So how I feel about it is they absolutely cannot and should not. And those cases would be taken to court and eventually the Supreme Court, and they would have to rule on that.
Yep.
So I don't believe that is a constitutional thing that they can do. Will they do that? Have they done that? Yeah, I think they have. And I think it's up to citizens to push back in a respectable, lawful way, which is, in that particular case, when it gets to that point, is through the judiciary system. It's not rogue elements going out and just blatantly disregarding whatever statutes are put into place.
Sure.
Same thing with a national mandate. If a new president comes in, he says, this is the way we're going to do this, and if you don't do this, you're going to go to jail. Well, there's some people going to go to jail, and then that fight's going to be taken through the courts all the way to the Supreme Court, and that's the way it's going to happen.
Yep.
And you got to trust that process.
Due process.
Yeah. Now, I would say protest. I without a doubt, 100% peacefully protest. But I would say don't push it so far where you might cause yourself inadvertent harm at the hands of a police officer. And remember, that police officer might 100% agree with you. Don't put them in that position of having to deal with you.
Because he may, like you said, he may 100% agree, but he has a job.
Yep.
And his job is to enforce the law.
That's right. That's right. And he didn't make it.
And God bless all of our law enforcement out there. They're just like pastors and everybody. Man, they are dealing with a wicked hard time.
Yep. Even worse than normal. And on the best day, police officers deal with the worst parts of society.
Oh, yeah. At all times.
And I'll be honest with you, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite me at some point. I don't like dealing with police officers. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want them to pull me over. I don't want to deal with them. They're in my opinion, they're encroaching upon my decrees. They're encroaching upon my rights. But they have a job to do like everybody else. And that fight is only won through the right processes. So, yes and no.
And no.
And be very careful.
Yep.
That would be my answer.
I like it.
All right.
Well, get off of that one because we might ruffle a few feathers.
We might. And send us your opinion.
Yeah, please do.
Let me know. Let us know. I have a question for you that's not quite as serious, but
that's good.
Might require a little bit of a thinkamifying.
Oh, goodness.
All right. There's two parts.
Uh-oh.
First part is, if you, and don't answer the first part yet.
Okay.
If you could have the credit for creating any piece of art, painting, music, movies, television shows, etc., any art, which piece of art would you choose? That's the first question. And would you choose based upon the money and fame that came with creating the piece of art, or would you choose it because it's special to you?
Well,
so the first part of the question, which one would you choose and why? And go.
So my initial thought.
I always enjoy Beezy's initial thought. That's always my favorite.
Usually it's pretty good. But my initial thought was to hearken back to a prior Skeptical Zealot episode about Lilith.
Okay.
You discussed something about the Bible being either composed or written. You're talking about, now I can't remember the term, but the first 5 books.
Yeah, the Pentateuch. Okay.
Either being composed by a gaggle of folks or written by Moses.
Correct.
So my initial thought was, sure be sweet to take credit for that guy.
Of all the things you're gonna steal Moses?
It's like that. I think it's Dan Cummins that says in one of his stand-up bits, he says, "I like to find the guy that's about to invent the high five and give him a high five."
That's brilliant. Even Jesus himself is shaking his head right now. Like, oh, come on, man.
This guy. I tell you.
That's brilliant. So you're gonna rip off old Moses.
No, not rip off. I'm taking it. You said it's mine now.
I did. Taking credit.
So that's my initial thought, and I'm kind of leaning towards it now.
That's pretty funny.
The more I think about it, pretty legit. But for the money and the fame,
yep. Moses not raking in the scratch.
Not a whole lot's in that there.
Ironically, there's a lot of money in the Bible.
Yeah.
Not so much money in the Moses account.
Exactly. So, I think to be a part of it would be pretty sweet. But if I delve back a little bit, I kind of would like to have taken credit for maybe the Sistine Chapel.
Oh, interesting.
The Michelangelo.
Yeah, yeah.
If I could take credit for that, and granted, that's another thing. There's no money unless you charge admissions.
Which they do.
Well, of course they do. I mean,
so maybe you should take credit for the Catholic Church.
well, I kind of did if I go with my first part.
That's right. That's right.
But if I had to choose one or the other, both of them are not going to be just financially beneficial to me.
Okay.
But I would enjoy the fact of being able to say that I wrote the picture took.
Okay, so you're going with not fame or money necessarily, but prestige.
That's right.
Okay, all right.
I'm only going to be here for, if I play my cards right, maybe 65 years. With the way I drink.
You keep drinking this Viking blood.
The Viking blood's going to shovel that one down to about 52. Or I don't know, maybe 108.
Yeah, maybe
that's why they live so long.
Maybe so. Maybe that's why they produce giants.
That's true.
They drink all
the
this,
old Nephilims.
Maybe
I could birth a Nephilim.
That could be your claim to fame, that you birth a Nephilim.
We got to quit cross promoting your own podcast. Anyways, no. So I would say one or the other.
Okay, all right. I like that. I really like that. Okay, I was not expecting the prestige angle. I was definitely expecting the fame and money angle.
Fame and fortune.
Yep, I really was.
Yeah.
I was expecting the like Disney Empire or something.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
Dang, I should have picked that one.
Should have picked. You know what you should have picked was Roy Disney.
Roy.
Because he did nothing and gained
and
all
billions.
of the fortune. Oh, goodness.
Well, that is what Thinky Blinders is all about, baby.
It is.
Keep you guessing.
Well, we are glad that you tuned in for our 8th episode and going strong. We're not quitting after 8.
Woohoo!
We're going to keep on going. Keep
Sure.
on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
And if you're not aware, the next 2 episodes, we are actually going to take Fraternize with these guys on the road.
On the road.
So we're excited about that. We're going to East Texas, to the big old tall pines of East Texas. Going to do some bass fishing out there on the world famous Lake Fork. We're excited about that. We're going to be broadcasting from out there. I say broadcasting. We're going to be recording from out there. And I say not broadcasting because East Texas folks, they don't have internet.
Nope.
Technology
keys haven't gotten out that way yet.
They will help you whenever your car breaks down.
That's for sure.
They don't have internet yet.
Unfortunately, we got a good truck we're going in, so
That's true.
we don't got to worry about me, no Jim Bob.
Yep, we hope.
And old sneaky left hand.
We sure hope. Oh, man. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned. Send us your questions at these questions.
Oh my goodness gracious. No.
It's been a long episode.
So these guys' questions at gmail.com.
There we
you
go.
can send your questions, comments, hate mail, whatever. We'll accept it all.
I will accept the hate mail.
If you want to check us out on the socials, we're on Facebook, IGs, YouTube. You can search for Fraternize with these guys, or Facebook and IG is at FWTG Podcast. It'll pull it up that way as well.
Sure will.
Leave us messages there. Email us there. Doesn't matter. We'll get it.
We'll get it one way or the other. And also check out our website in the bottom right-hand corner. You can even leave us a voicemail.
That's right.
And if you leave us a voicemail, it's ours, and we might play it.
Yeah, so
just know that.
User be wary. And just in case you send us some shiftiness on the website, we can hook you up with a number for last week's episode sponsor, Todd Tom's.
Yeah.
What was it? Disbarred attorney at law.
Disbarred attorney at law. He is worth what you pay him. I can guarantee it. Also, if you would like to support us in a financial way, we'd appreciate that immensely. Go to Patreon, and you can find us over there at Fraternize with these guys. And we're going to have some really cool stuff coming up for our Patreon subscribers, and we're excited about that. So it's about time that we sign off, and we're going to leave you, as always, with our Ponder This.
Ponder this. Are you aware you have more ancestors than all of your ancestors.
By one.
By one.
All right, we're out. We'll see y'all next week.
Love you guys. Thank you much.